Hey guys, it's Comcalibur Studios here, and today I'm making a video I really didn't expect to be making today. Of course, Dorney Park just announced Iron Menace, which is their new for 2024 coaster, and I'm really excited about that. But Six Flags somehow found a way to steal their thunder and give us some really insane news about Six Flags Great Adventure for 2024. So Six Flags had their Q2 2023 stockholder call today, August 10th. And in this call, they revealed something very exciting, which typically doesn't happen. They'll usually not reveal any future ride plans or anything of that nature. They'll reveal financials and stuff like that, and they'll give little hints as to what we could expect, but never really going right out and confirming something that isn't public information yet. But in this call, we were fortunate enough to get a very exciting bit of news regarding Six Flags Great Adventure in 2024. And if you read the title right, they confirmed that the park is building a new coaster for 2024. So I'm going to go to the exact spot where this was confirmed inside of the call, just so you guys have an exact quote, and I'm going to play the audio clip right now.
I think you guys just recently, like your March earnings call for the fourth quarter, we're talking to a range of like 150 to 200, and now you're up to like 250 at the high end for CapEx in 24 and 25. Can you walk us through kind of the process that got you to decide that you need to spend more in that period? Was a decision that you need to just, and also it seems like the tone of what you're talking about with CapEx. I mean, when you started, you were talking about less emphasis on the rides and more on kind of just the comfortable kind of, amenities and the benches. And now it's more kind of on the slow rides. So just walk us through kind of, the process and what's changed in these intervening months to get you from where you were to where you are.
Yeah, thank you, Barton. Good question. The lift in 24 was somewhat related to, we have a 50th anniversary coming up at our park in New Jersey, and we had an opportunity to add a nice ride kind of late in the game, and that's a little bit rare because it takes generally a while to design and build a coaster. So we had a fortunate opportunity, and we decided to take it. So that's the lift versus what we had expected to spend in the short run.
So as you heard, he is talking about a new coaster being added late in the game at Six Flags Great Adventure. And of course, coasters typically take a very long time to plan and design, but they're mentioning that this was a very last minute thing. They were able to squeeze it in really quick at the end. And this is because the question asked about why there is a significant increase from what they were expecting to spend in the last stockholder call to what they're saying they're spending now in CapEx or capital expenditures for 2024. Back on the previous call that the question was referencing, they were saying they were expecting to spend around 150 to 200 million on CapEx in 24. They have now bumped that up to between 200 and 220 million. So that's a pretty sizable increase, and that tells me that's a pretty sizable addition coming to Great Adventure. I think it's safe to assume that a lot of the other stuff that Great Adventure is doing in 2024 was probably already calculated into that, I guess, giant total of CapEx from the previous call, and this new addition of the ride last minute was just thrown in now, and that's why the numbers are a little higher now. And I wouldn't really think too much of this if it wasn't for the one word that he uses, which is coaster. At first he says, of course, that we were able to add a nice ride, so I figure maybe it's a flat ride, maybe it's something else, but then the second sentence talks about a coaster, and he wouldn't mention that if they weren't getting a coaster. So of course everyone is kind of going crazy right now because we've kind of been on the will they won't they train for if Great Adventure would get a coaster. We were thinking Giga, we were thinking Blitz, we were thinking a whole bunch of different things for the past year or so, and to now finally have some concrete, definite proof that they are building a coaster from Six Flags corporate themselves is really exciting, and definitely has me even more excited to speculate on what we could be receiving. The Six Flags stockholder call did mention that they will be revealing a lot of the additions coming very soon. You could expect announcements, they said, as early as a couple weeks and as late as the fall. So I assume the couple weeks announcement is talking about Fiesta Texas and Over Georgia. They're planning to announce stuff pretty soon. So I'm really excited to see when Great Adventure's announcement does come. And they also did confirm that a lot of the 2023 editions that were supposed to open this year are being delayed till next year, but I'm going to talk about that more in a separate video, as I really want to focus more on Great Adventure in this video. If you've been following the channel as of recent, we have been covering all things related to Great Adventure's 2024 edition. They're now running teasers on their Twitter account, which we've been covering as they release, and they've kind of been a little all over the place. Some of them are hinting at classic rides like Log Flume and Big Wheel. Others are hinting at a possible roller coaster. They're showing the markers that we've already seen, which I'm also covering in our updates at the park that we do each time we visit, because we're always able to find new markers or new work being done on the site. So it's really, really exciting to see all this, and definitely has my speculative mind rolling around what this could possibly be. I mean, we've heard pretty much everything at this point. I know a lot of people are leaning towards the Skyline Peace Bowl coaster, and we have to keep in mind that whatever the coaster is, they confirmed already that it was a very last-minute decision to add the coaster in 2024, and it was definitely motivated by the fact that it's the 50th anniversary for the park, and they wanted to do something really good for the park. But if they're hinting at it being a really nice ride, I'm thinking it's a little more than just a Peace Bowl. I'm not taking that option off the table by any means. I think it's very likely that could be what it is. If I had to guess, it's something that maybe they already bought, or that they had already had eyes on, that maybe one park couldn't take it, so they're taking that coaster and putting it at Great Adventure, because like they said, it usually takes a very long time to design and plan a coaster, and for them to just be able to all of a sudden now pull one together for Great Adventure at the last minute, I mean, we're beyond the halfway point of 2023, and to have the coaster open in 2024, construction definitely needs to be underway, and it looks like it is, judging off the markers, if that is where the coaster is going. For all we know, it could be going in a completely different area of the park, though I am definitely leaning it towards it being more so in the front area, Metropolis area, just because of the markers we've seen. So again, we do have to keep in mind that it may not be the most custom layout per se. It's possible this could be a clone, or maybe an off-the-shelf model like one of the standard layouts we've seen from Intamin or Vekoma or anything like that. So there's definitely options like that. But the Peace Bowl is definitely a possibility, but I don't know if it's really going to have as big of an impact as something a bit larger would. Now, another option is a coaster from Intamin, possibly a multi-launch coaster. Now, the reason Intamin is even in the equation is we've heard many rumblings that Intamin and Six Flags are on very good terms, and this is starting to show itself as Six Flags Over Georgia is heavily rumored to be receiving an Intamin Ultra Splash, which is basically Intamin's take on a mock power splash like Aquaman at Six Flags Over Texas. So that tells me that Six Flags is more than willing to work with Intamin, and we hadn't really seen much from Intamin and Six Flags over the past decade or so. I mean, the only thing that comes to mind are the two drop towers at Magic Mountain and Great Adventure. Anything other than that, I can't really think of anything from Intamin. So to see Intamin all of a sudden coming into the picture for Six Flags is definitely a little jarring. But again, from what I've seen and what I've heard, it's definitely possible that Intamin could be involved with this project. And if Intamin is involved, I think it's very possible we could see one of their models that may not necessarily be a custom model for Great Adventure. It could be one of the layouts they've been advertising, and that gives us a lot of options. For one, we could be seeing an Intamin Hot Racer, which personally I don't think so, because we already have Jersey Devil, which is a thrilling single rail coaster, and to get another thrilling single rail coaster to me wouldn't make too much sense. We also have the Intamin Vertical LSM coaster, which they've been promoting a lot. It basically has a vertical launch and then goes through a fairly typical Intamin layout, which again, it's definitely an option, but I'm not necessarily jumping all over it, because there's still other options. We could see a custom Intamin coaster, like a multi-launch, similar to something like Pantheon, maybe with a swing launch, though I don't think there was really enough time to design a custom model for Great Adventure. Again, like they said in the call, this was pretty much pulled together very last minute and wasn't necessarily planned for years and years, so again, I'm not really thinking this is going to be something that's super customized for the park, just because of the nature of it being pulled together kind of at the last second. One model that a few of my friends have been eyeing up for the park is Intamin's Figure 8 looping coaster. So basically this ride has a swing launch, and its main element is this giant Figure 8 loop, which you guys can see on screen now. Personally, I'm still not 100% sure that this could be the model, but again, this is one of Intamin's off-the-shelf layouts. It wouldn't be very difficult to make it work on a flat plot of land or something along those lines as long as you clear it. So it's very possible that Six Flags could have bought a model similar to this for the park just so that they could get them something nice and big. Though I really want to know what you guys think Great Adventure's new 2024 coaster could be. We're going to be doing all kinds of speculation and different things of that nature to try to figure out what the park is getting. We still don't know an official announcement date for Great Adventure's 2024 editions yet. So when I do find out when that date is, I'll be sure to let you guys know as soon as possible. But as of right now, we do not know when it is. I'm assuming it's not going to be until closer to September. Could still be in August, but I think they're going to wait more for the fall season. But again, let me know in the comments down below what kind of coaster you think Great Adventure is getting for 2024 now that it is confirmed from Six that they are getting a coaster for the 50th anniversary. If you guys enjoyed this video, be sure to like and subscribe to Hollywood Studios. We'll be covering the 2024 project at Six Flags Great Adventure extremely closely and making sure we don't miss any teasers or any construction on the project. Also, another quick little thing to add into this video while I was editing, I noticed that RCDB, the roller coaster database, has put Six Flags Great Adventure in as receiving a 2024 coaster. Of course, it's listed as unknown with no manufacturers attached, but RCDB is convinced they're getting a coaster and you're still not sure that they are, I think it's pretty safe to say it's definitely happening. With that being said, I'm Colin from Hollywood Studios, and I'll see you all in the next video. Goodbye, guys.